If Game of Thrones and Horrible Histories had a very violent love child raised by Quentin Tarantino, you'd get something close to the real-life saga of history's most brutal empires. Less winter is coming, and more winter of absolute despair is already here, and it's wearing spiked boots. The Assyrian Empire, c. 911-609 BCE. The Assyrians perfected intimidation. Their rulers turned terror into strategy, public flaying, mass deportations, and spectacular impalements designed to make resistance look like a very bad idea. One king celebrated victory by turning the rebel leader's skin into a public display, literal leave-a-mark diplomacy. Tiglath-Pileser III moved entire populations like grim chess pieces. Sennacherib razed cities and even rerouted rivers to obliterate ruins. Ashurbanipal collected trophies of war, gruesome souvenirs like heads, alongside books for his famous library. Centuries of bullying ended in 609 BCE when a Babylonian Median coalition sacked Nineveh and flipped the script on the once feared bullies of the ancient Near East. The Achaemenid, Persian, Empire, c. 550-330 BCE. The Persians combined ruthless power with administrative genius. Cyrus the Great expanded the empire cleverly, sometimes by cunning engineering rather than brute force, and Darius kept rebellions in line with shock tactics. Some accounts claim mass impalements. Xerxes I, enraged when storms wrecked his Hellespont bridge, famously punished the sea itself. Persian warfare could be theatrical. Stories tell of using sacred animals as human shields to exploit enemy taboos. They also built things that lasted, roads, an imperial postal system, which were efficient, if occasionally delivered with the threat of death for tampering. The Macedonian Empire, 336-323 BCE, Alexander the Great, conquered faster than anyone could publish a travel blog. He razed rebellious cities, spared temples and poets' houses only occasionally, engineered seaside sieges like the epic fall of Tyre, and beat far larger armies through audacity and tactics, Gaugamela being the showpiece. In India, he faced war elephants and countered with disciplined formations that looked like a giant hedgehog of spears. His return through the Gedrosian, Makran Desert was a different sort of victory, a catastrophic march that killed vast numbers of his own troops. By the time Alexander died in 323 BCE, his empire stretched from Greece to the Indus, vast, fragile, and bound to fragment without its architect. The Roman Empire, 27 BCE 476 CE, Rome gave the world roads, aqueducts, and a flair for spectacle and cruelty. Julius Caesar's Gallic Wars depopulated large regions. Emperors could be theatrically mad. Caligula toyed with fantasies of beheading citizens en masse and naming his horse consul. Nero allegedly used Christians as torches to light his gardens after Rome's Great Fire. The Colosseum fed a public appetite for gladiatorial death and beast hunts. Rome also expanded legal and civic institutions, the calendar, organized administration, and later, universal citizenship, albeit when convenient for taxation. The Western Empire finally fell in 476 CE, proving that nothing, not even Rome's swagger, is eternal. The Mongol Empire, 1206-1368. Nomadic horsemen created the largest contiguous land empire in history through speed, terror, and ruthless efficiency. Genghis Khan's diplomacy was famously blunt: submit or die. Cities that insulted Mongol envoys were flattened. Bukhara and Samarkand became examples of total urban destruction. Hulagu's sack of Baghdad in 1258 destroyed the House of Wisdom and, according to accounts, sent books into the river in such quantities the water darkened. Timur, Tamerlane, later raised towers of skulls after conquests like Delhi, brutal trophies of dominance. Still, the Mongols also connected Eurasia with the Yam postal system and helped exchange ideas, trade, and technology across long distances. The Aztec Empire, c. 1428-1521 CE. The Aztecs built one of the greatest cities of the Americas, Tenochtitlan, and paired advanced agriculture, education, and medicine with a theocratic culture that practiced mass human sacrifice. Ritual wars, flower wars, were staged to capture prisoners for sacrifice rather than to kill outright. At the reconsecration of their Great Pyramid in 1487, massive numbers of prisoners were reportedly sacrificed over a few days. Under rulers like Moctezuma II, sacrifice and, by some accounts, cannibalistic practices intensified as power expanded. The empire fell quickly after Hernan Cortés arrived. Guns, disease, and political maneuvering toppled what had been a dazzling, terrifying civilization.